What's happening, everybody? It's your man, X. Today we're not talking about the bright lights of New York or the beaches of LA. We're taking a journey down roads less traveled, places that were once the heartbeats of America. These towns were built on hard work and dreams, but time changed everything. Now all that's left are echoes, reminders that nothing lasts forever. So sit back, open your mind, and join me as we walk through the silent streets of America's forgotten cities. This is a journey you won't forget. Our journey takes us to some truly extraordinary places, locations where the earth reveals its hidden power and where communities have faced unimaginable challenges. Our first stop, Centralia, Pennsylvania. A place where the ground beneath your feet holds a secret that has shaped its destiny. Once a thriving coal town, a bustling hub fueled by the rich veins of anthracite coal that lay beneath, Centralia was a picture of small-town America. Families worked hard, building lives and a community around the promise of the mines. The streets were filled with the sounds of children playing, the bustle of commerce, and the hopes of a prosperous future. But Centralia's fate took a dramatic and irreversible turn in 1962, an event that would forever alter its landscape and the lives of its residents. It was a seemingly small incident, a spark that ignited a chain of events no one could have predicted. It began with a fire at the landfill, a common occurrence in those days. Little did they know, this seemingly insignificant blaze would become a relentless inferno. That fire, fueled by unknown circumstances, slipped into abandoned coal mines beneath the town, a labyrinth of tunnels and shafts left behind by decades of mining operations. These forgotten passages became the perfect conduit for disaster, igniting a blaze that still burns today, decades later. A subterranean firestorm raging beneath the surface, consuming the coal seams and releasing toxic fumes into the atmosphere. At first it was just smoke and heat, subtle signs that something was amiss. Residents noticed a strange smell in the air, a faint warmth emanating from the ground. But soon the ground cracked, roads buckled under the intense heat, and the earth began to show the devastating effects of the inferno below. The infrastructure of the town was slowly being destroyed from within, and toxic gases seeped into homes, poisoning the air and creating a dangerous environment for the residents. Carbon monoxide, a silent killer, became a constant threat. The government tried everything, a desperate attempt to extinguish the unquenchable fire. Trenches, dug deep into the earth, were meant to isolate the fire and prevent its spread. Water, millions of gallons, was pumped into the mines hoping to douse the flames. Millions spent on engineering solutions, emergency response, and relocation efforts. But the fire was unstoppable, a force of nature that defied all attempts at control. It was a battle against an enemy that could not be seen, an enemy that was slowly consuming the town from below. By the 1980s, families were forced to leave, their lives disrupted, their homes threatened, and their community torn apart. The exodus began, a slow and painful retreat from a place they once called home, their homes and memories abandoned, left to the mercy of the relentless fire. The houses stood empty, silent witnesses to the tragedy that had befallen Centralia. Today, Centralia is a ghost town, a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human settlements. Empty streets, once filled with life and laughter, now eerily silent. Overgrown lots, where houses once stood, now reclaimed by nature, and steam rising from the earth, a constant reminder of the fire that still burns beneath. Scientists say the fire could burn for centuries, a geological phenomenon with no end in sight. Centralia stands as a haunting reminder, a testament to the destructive forces that lie hidden beneath our feet, of how quickly a community can vanish, leaving behind only echoes of what once was. A town erased by a fire that refuses to die, a chilling example of the Earth's raw power. Our journey continues, and next we head west to Bodie, California, a place where the echoes of the past resonate through the empty streets and weathered buildings. We're about to step back in time and explore a town frozen in a state of arrested decay, a true testament to the fleeting nature of fortune and the enduring power of the human spirit. Bodie was once a gold rush boomtown, a place where dreams were chased and fortunes were made or lost in the blink of an eye. Imagine a landscape transformed by the promise of gold, drawing people from all walks of life to seek their piece of the American dream. In the late 1800s, Bodie exploded onto the scene, fueled by the insatiable hunger for gold and the allure of instant wealth. It was a period of rapid growth and transformation, as the town quickly evolved from a small mining camp into a bustling center of commerce and activity. The town was filled with fortune seekers eager to strike it rich, alongside saloons offering respite and revelry, and a palpable sense of wild ambition that permeated every corner of the settlement. It was a place where anything seemed possible, and the pursuit of wealth drove people to take incredible risks. At its peak, Bodie was a city of 10,000 souls, a vibrant and diverse community teeming with life and energy. It was a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds, all united by the common goal of finding their fortune in the gold mines. Bodie was alive with energy and dreams, a place where the streets buzzed with activity, and the air crackled with anticipation. Every day brought new opportunities and challenges, as people worked tirelessly to extract the precious metal from the earth. But the reality of gold rushes is that they never last. The promise of endless riches eventually fades, and the boom inevitably turns to bust. As the mines dried up and the gold became harder to find, people drifted away, seeking their fortunes elsewhere. The once bustling streets began to empty, and the vibrant energy of the town slowly dissipated. Adding to the town's woes, devastating fires in 1892 and 1932 swept through Bodie, destroying much of what remained and leaving behind a landscape of charred ruins. These events marked a turning point in the town's history, signaling its irreversible decline. And so, Bodie slowly faded into obscurity, its population dwindling until it became a ghost town, a haunting reminder of a bygone era. The buildings stood silent and empty, bearing witness to the passage of time and the fading memories of its former inhabitants. When the last residents finally left, they left everything behind, as if they expected to return at any moment. Personal belongings, household items, and everyday objects remained untouched, creating a snapshot of life in a forgotten time. Tables were set for meals that would never be eaten, and shelves remained stocked with goods that would never be sold. Even a child's toy was left behind in an empty house, a poignant reminder of the families who once called Bodie home. Today, Bodie is preserved in a state of arrested decay, a unique and fascinating glimpse into the past. The town is carefully maintained to prevent further deterioration, allowing visitors to experience what life was like during the gold rush era. It stands as a time capsule of the American dream gone dry, a stark reminder of the boom and bust cycles that have shaped the history of the West. The wind whispers through broken window panes, carrying the echoes of laughter, tears, and the relentless pursuit of fortune. Walk its streets, and you can almost feel the presence of the people who once lived and worked here, their hopes and dreams still lingering in the air. You'll feel the stories of hope, loss, and the relentless march of time, etched into the very fabric of this remarkable place. Bodie is more than just a ghost town. It's a living testament to the enduring power of the past. Now, to Gary, Indiana, a city built by U.S. Steel in 1906. Gary was the Magic City, a symbol of American industry and opportunity. Steel jobs brought prosperity, beautiful buildings, and a booming community. But as global competition and automation hit the mills, cut jobs, and the city's lifeblood drained away, people left businesses closed and once grand structures fell into ruin. Today, Gary's abandoned streets and empty churches are stark reminders of what happens when a city's foundation crumbles. It's the story of the Rust Belt industrial promise and painful decline. Down at the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers sits Cairo, Illinois. Once a vital hub for riverboats and railroads, Cairo was destined for greatness. But floods, changing transportation routes, and deep racial strife tore the city apart. As highways bypassed Cairo and businesses closed, families left in search of better lives. The population plummeted, and the city's beautiful buildings now stand mostly empty. Cairo is a haunting crossroads, a place with all the potential in the world, left behind by time and circumstance. Picture Oklahoma, a town poisoned from the ground up. Born as a lead and zinc mining boomtown, Picture supplied metals for 2 world wars. But decades of mining left toxic waste piles everywhere, and the wind spread lead dust across the community. Sinkholes opened as abandoned tunnels collapsed and the water turned toxic. Children suffered from lead poisoning, and the government declared Picture a Superfund site. The only solution? Evacuate everyone. By 2013, Picture was officially dissolved, a town erased by the environmental cost of unchecked industry. Detroit, Michigan, a name synonymous with American ingenuity, a city etched into the very fabric of the nation's industrial heritage. But this is more than just a place on a map. It's a story of meteoric rise, A period of unprecedented prosperity, followed by a fall from grace, and now a determined climb back towards revitalization, the Motor City. A moniker earned through decades of relentless innovation and mass production that transformed the world. Once the undisputed center of innovation and unparalleled prosperity, a beacon of the American dream for millions who flocked here seeking opportunity. Detroit didn't just build cars. Detroit put the world on wheels, democratizing personal transportation and reshaping the very landscape of modern life. It was a time when the rumble of engines was the city's heartbeat. And beyond the factories, Motown music, a sound that transcended racial barriers and echoed across the globe, was born here. Booming factories employing generations of families fueled a seemingly endless cycle of growth and optimism. A thriving middle class with access to homeownership and economic security defined the city and became the envy of the world. Detroit was the embodiment of the American success story, but the winds of change began to blow. Automation, while increasing efficiency, also displaced workers. And fierce foreign competition, offering cheaper alternatives, gradually gutted the auto industry, the lifeblood of Detroit. As jobs vanished, the economic foundation crumbled, leaving a trail of abandoned buildings and broken dreams. Over 1 million people left, seeking opportunities elsewhere, abandoning their homes and their history, leaving entire neighborhoods empty, silent witnesses to a city's decline. Block after block became urban prairie, a stark reminder of what once was. Nature reclaiming the city, a poignant symbol of decay and neglect. But Detroit's story isn't just one of loss and despair. It's a testament to resilience, a story of unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. Community groups driven by a deep love for their city, artists injecting creativity and color into forgotten spaces, and entrepreneurs willing to take risks and build anew. All are fighting for a comeback, brick by brick, dream by dream. Detroit's heart still beats, a rhythm of hope and determination echoing through its streets. Reminding us that even in the face of decline, even when the odds seem insurmountable, hope can rise, transforming urban prairies into fertile ground for a new chapter. In the mountains of West Virginia lies Thurmond, a railroad town frozen in time. Once a bustling hub for coal and rail, Thurmond thrived on steam engines and non-stop trains. But as diesel engines replaced steam, the town's purpose vanished almost overnight. Businesses closed, people left, and the trains thundered past without stopping. Today, Thurmond is preserved as part of a national park, a perfectly preserved ghost town, a relic of the steam-powered age. Route 66, the Mother Road, once connected America, and towns like Glen Rio thrived on its traffic. Glen Rio straddled the Texas-New Mexico border, serving travelers with motels, diners, and gas stations. But when Interstate 40 bypassed the town, the traffic, and life, vanished overnight. Businesses closed, people left, and Glen Rio became a ghost town. Today, faded signs and empty buildings line the old Route 66, a monument to a lost way of travel and community. Rhyolite, Nevada, born in a flash of gold fever. In 1904 it was nothing. 2 years later it was a city of thousands with electric lights, a stock exchange, and even a bottle house built from 50,000 bottles. But the gold ran out, investors fled, and the city emptied almost as quickly as it rose. By 1920 Rhyolite was a ghost town. Today, its ruins stand stark against the desert sky, a mirage of ambition, a city that burned bright and faded fast. Times Beach, Missouri, a town wiped off the map. Founded as a quiet community, Times Beach unknowingly became the site of a toxic disaster. In the 1970s, oil sprayed on dirt roads to control dust was contaminated with deadly dioxin. After a flood spread the poison, the government ordered a full evacuation. Every home was bought and bulldozed, the soil incinerated. Today, a state park stands where Times Beach once was. Almost no trace remains. A heartbreaking end for a town that never saw it coming. What a journey. We've seen fire, gold, rust, and ruin, but these stories matter. They're part of the American story, reminders of hope, loss, and resilience. If these stories moved you, hit subscribe and help keep these memories alive. Every empty street was once filled with life. Let's remember the people who built these places and the lessons they left behind. Thank you for coming along. Until next time, take care, and don't forget the stories that made us who we are.